Okay, so today we're moving on to the next shape. We got surface area of cylinders this time, and I think you're going to like cylinders. They're, to be honest, a little bit easier than prisms. So let's talk about some vocab to start here. Something that's unique to cylinders is that, well, and I guess cones have it too, actually. Is that these shapes have an axis. So it's just this line right here, and it does connect the endpoints that are the centers of the circle bases. So let's think about this. So basically, you find the center of the top circle and the center of the bottom circle, and you connect them, and that's your axis. Okay, just like with prisms, there's a couple of different types of cylinders. You have your right cylinders, and then you have your slanty ones, your oblique cylinders. So obviously, what is the difference between the two types of cylinders? And that would be one slanty and one is not. So slanty versus not. Straight up, however you want to say that. And then secondly, where is the height on each type of cylinder? So notice that on the first cylinder, the right cylinder, the altitude and the axis are the same thing. They are all the same thing, and that is your height. It's just going right down the middle like you would think it would be. But then notice on the oblique cylinder, you have an altitude still, just like we did on the prism. Remember, the definition of the altitude is that it was perpendicular to both bases. That's what it has to be, perpendicular to both, not to both bases. Versus the axis does not have to be perpendicular. The axis's job is just to connect the centers of these two circles. So which one would we think it would be the height? Well, sure enough, your height is always going to be the altitude. So on the first one, it doesn't matter because the altitude and the axis are the same thing. So we're going to say it's the altitude on both. So remember that the altitude is always the perpendicular distance between the bases. Okay, so then you're going to watch a video on this investigation, and I'll meet you back in the next video here.